Okay then, I think we're gonna have to label the Paris Eternal as the weirdest team in this offseason, because I have no idea what this team is doing. Honestly, no idea. So we started off with all of the transfers to Dallas Fuel with Paris Eternal, right? With Hambin, Sparkle going their way, Fielder eventually going to the Paris Eternal along with Rush, and now Aid at the Paris Eternal as well. And we saw No Smite let go, we saw Specs let go, and we thought, yeah, fine, that left them with Soon, Nico, Ben Best, Exy, and FD God. And then we get these tweets on Twitter yesterday, and this is from Nico, saying, unfortunately for the first time in years, I am a free agent. Paris told me they do not want to renew my contract, so I'm looking for new opportunities in Overwatch League. Ben Best, I'm a free agent looking for team Overwatch League. Paris Eternal informed me that they won't be renewing my contract. I am still in talks with Paris, but I will also be exploring new options. Then we have possibly the most bizarrest one. Soon. Starting today, I'm a free agent and looking for team Overwatch League. You can contact me, blah blah blah. So, Paris do not want to renew contracts for these players. Except Ben Best, who is still in communications with Paris. This is odd. Now, of course, we could still see them picked up by Paris, but this leaves Paris with XC and FD God, and none of what is happening with Paris right now makes sense. Like, I cannot make sense of it at all. I thought they were going to keep these French players and then go all European, but that doesn't add up. That really doesn't add up with getting rid of these three, leaving FD God, because FD God is a great main support. He's been a great Lucio this season. Remember the 1v1 with Funny Astro? He's been a great support this season. Not the best, but he's been great. And so, I can understand them keeping him, but why get rid of Soon? Why get rid of Nico? They've been good. So, what's the reason for this? And where did they go? Like, this is a very bizarre move from Paris Eternal. And I am going on the theory at the moment that Paris Eternal have got an entire team waiting in line, and they are just going to transplant the players and the coaches from those teams, or that team, into Paris Eternal. That's the only way I can think of this happening. Because why would you gut your team so profoundly to leave it with nothing? Like, nothing. You've got XE and FD God. You've got no coaches. You've got nothing at Paris right now. Like, you have a Valor as assistant general manager and Yoon as team manager. That's it. There's no coaches. There's no direction. There's nothing. If they were going all European and wanted to challenge, why would they not keep Soon, Nico and Ben Best alongside FD God? That wouldn't be half bad if they put alongside them some nice players. You know, it's not a bad team. Also, I probably would have kept hold of Smex, even if he wasn't the starting off tank. XZ being kept hold of is a weird one as well. Now, there's a theory I thought of, which is a second theory of mine, but it kind of coincides with the theory I just mentioned, that there is a big heavy rumour going around, and it will be devastating if this does happen, but there is a big rumour going around that in Korea, Element Mystic are going to disband. Very, very big rumour. And if that, I mean, just going on a caveat, if that is the case, then that is a devastating loss for Overwatch esports. Especially Overwatch in Korea, because Element Mystic is a massive team. And to lose a team like that, that's going back to the days when we lost Giganti in Europe, but it would possibly be bigger than that. Like, Element Mystic is a staple name of Korean contenders, and to lose a team like that would be massive. But going back to my original point, does this mean that Paris Eternal are going to bring in the entire Overwatch division of Element Mystic? It is possible. Of the current Element Mystic roster, and their coaches could all just transfer to Paris Eternal. It would allow XZ to slot in very well. The problem is, FD God. He's the odd one out here. So, what happens to him? Does he speak Korean? Is he going to fit into that squad really nicely? That's a possibility. But it still seems very odd. Is FD God going to leave soon? Again, that's another possibility. So, we don't have all of the pieces to this Paris Eternal jigsaw right now, or this mystery that's going on with the Paris Eternal. It's still really weird. And what it points to out of everything is a theory that I've seen Seagull have on his streams as well. That there are, and I've mentioned this myself, massive budget cuts going on in the Overwatch League at the moment for 2021 because of uncertainty surrounding the season, because of COVID, because of no homestands, because of Overwatch 2 possibly kind of not disrupting the season, because hopefully it will be before the season, fingers crossed, but there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding 2021, and that's why it could be a very difficult season for a lot of teams. And this is why we could be seeing a lot of teams just scale back, a bit like Shanghai Dragons getting rid of the Deadwood, but still having a roster they could field, a 7-man roster, which is base league rules. So, again, London have sort of followed this by most likely promoting their Hurricane team, because again, it wouldn't cost them too much. They're not paying out for big known players. Paris Eternal could be doing the same thing. And if so, they could be going for a young Korean roster that they wouldn't have to pay too much for, considering Element Mystic is apparently going to disband. Or they could be going for young up-and-coming EU or NA Western talent. If so, I wouldn't expect Paris Eternal to be that good next season. But, again, I've seen people on my Discord saying this as well. I think it's just probably to wind me up. They're not going to get Hurricane. Paris Eternal are not going to get anyone from Hurricane. I can almost guarantee that, because the working theory is right now that Hurricane are going to be promoted to the London Spitfire, and also the way in which Nuki, the new GM of Hurricane, the new GM of London Spitfire and current GM of Hurricane, is talking. Cloud9 and Hurricane are fed up with selling their players to teams in the Overwatch League. For example, Funny Astro and likes like Fusions as well. They've been sold from Hurricane to teams in the Overwatch League, and they're not doing the model for Cloud9 and Hurricane and Spitfire is not to do that anymore. It's to use that talent themselves and promote it to their own team. So I don't see Paris Eternal getting the best talent in Europe, because the best talent in Europe is Hurricane, without a doubt. It is by far the best talent in Europe. I believe Hurricane have just won EU contenders for October without dropping a map. You should see their scrim record. It is bonkers. So it's interesting. It's interesting. And yeah, I don't know if they go for up-and-coming EU and NA talent. I expect it to be an extremely, extremely rough 2021 for Paris Eternal. Now, another thing that could be happening here is that they go really bargain basement for 2021 and they tank the season. And then, with the money they are making from selling the players they have got now to Dallas Fuel, and any money that's come from placing and prize money in 2020, and inevitable placing money and sponsorship money in 2021, they bounce back after a budget year in 2022 and go big time for a big roster. So there is an idea by some people in the community, Seagull was included in this, that a lot of teams are going to tank this season, go budget, and come back in 2022. So could this be what Paris Eternal are doing? Now, there are teams evidently to go against this trend, like Dallas Fuel, who are definitely investing in this roster. But have Dallas Fuel thought the other way and thought this is our opportunity to outright win the league? It is a fair stretch for Dallas Fuel. I'm not going to lie. Even with the roster they've got now, it's a fair stretch to see them win the league, but they'll be there and thereabouts if they get it right. So it's a very... the situation at the Paris Eternal is the weirdest one we're seeing. And also, when at San Francisco Shock, we're seeing people like Rascal being let go. It's just not it, is it? There's clearly cuts going on. And I think this is being felt majorly at the Paris Eternal. I think Paris Eternal are definitely at the most severe end of this. And I want to see how the Paris Eternal come out of this. This Paris Eternal roster in 2021 is going to look very much different to what we saw this year. And I don't know where it's going to go. I really don't know where it's going to go. Will someone pick up Element Mystic if they disband? Will it be Paris Eternal? I don't know. I honestly... a lot of the time, you can make assumptions about things, and you can get ideas and stuff like that. We had rumors about Rush going to Dallas Fuel, then we had all the thoughts of Hanbin and Sparkle following him and the Element Mystic boys, and that ended up happening. We had to think about London and all that, but with Paris, there is nothing. Just nothing. It is just weird. It is so weird, and we will be keeping a very close eye on the Paris Eternal in coming weeks, because I have no idea where this team is going. Honestly, no idea where this team is going at all. It's not even got Eternal Academy anymore that it can just promote, so yeah, I have no idea. And it would suggest that perhaps there are budget cuts at Paris Eternal, because Eternal Academy was scrapped. And then it was brought back. It actually did fairly decently, because it played against Hurricane earlier on in this season of Contenders, or in Season 1 anyway. And they did fairly well. They took Hurricane close. And then a couple of weeks after that, it was disbanded again. And now it's no longer existing. So, yeah, I don't know what the management of Paris Eternal and the ownership of Paris Eternal are doing. But it is weird. It is super weird. And I guess only time will tell. It is rough to be a Paris fan right now, and I hope you stick with it, because I know it's rough to, especially to not just lose some of your best players, but now you're losing some of your poster boys as well, your big name players that are French and were the talismans of the team, and it's really rough. And I feel for you Paris Eternal fans, but we will keep an eye on it going forward. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you'd like to give a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. See you then.